Hey guys, it's Karibo Bros here. It's our first Speed Duel deck profile in about 2 years. The last Speed Duel product we got was just before lockdown. Well, the last lockdown in the UK anyway, which was the Speed Duel Battle City box. We've now got the Speed Duel GX Duel Academy box. It brings a lot of new cards. It's a very good set. And arguably for this format, I think Destiny End Dragon Turbo is probably going to be considered the best deck. I remember seeing this card in the anime when I was younger. I had never read its effect, and when I read it the other day at my locals, I was like, wow, this is pretty nuts. So, one Destiny Hero Plasma and one Destiny Hero Dogma. A fusion summon of this card can only be done with the above fusion materials. Once per turn, you can target one monster your opponent controls, destroy that target, and if it was face up, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack it had on the field. You cannot conduct your battle phase the turn you activate this effect. Once per turn during your standby phase, if this card is in your graveyard, you can banish one Destiny Hero card from your graveyard to special summon it. So it's got 3k attack, 3k defense, it burns, and it can bring itself back. It's pretty nuts. Or at least in terms of Speed Duel, it's pretty nuts. Right, the skill, Fusion Party, quite simple. Once per duel, it's a polymerization. Activate the skill during your main phase. Once per duel, you can fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters in your hand or field as fusion material. So we play that as our one skill. We play a 20 card deck. We play 3 copies of Plasma. You know what? Oddly enough, you will sometimes actually summon this card. I've had it happen a few times where my Destiny End Dragon has been like Nightmare Wheeled and I'm slowly being burned by my opponents and I might have 2 other monsters on the field. So I'll summon this and I'll take my opponent's Ultimate Great Moth and I'll equip it to this and I'll just attack the game. The next card is the brick of the deck. We play 3 just so we can turbo into the fusion. Dogma, it can only be special summoned by having counters on like Clock Tower. It's not going to get summoned. We want to see the 1 copy as quickly as possible, and if we can, we want to banish the other copies off a Law of Darkness. 3 copies of Blastsphere. Yeah, we're still in somewhat of a burn format. I guess it's sort of what the game is, but the game's still fun. Yeah, Blastsphere, it gets rid of your opponent's monsters when they attack. It when it's face down and it's attacked, it equips to your opponent's monster, and then in their turn, it blows up your opponent's monster and they take damage equal to their attack. So that monster's attack. Play 3 of them. 3 Dekoichi. Again, this got reprinted in the Speed Duel box, which is pretty good. I believe this was a super beforehand. I think the vast majority of holo cards from like the original 4 booster sets have now been reprinted in common. So like the game is completely accessible to everyone. You can still buy the Battle City boxes, and obviously you can buy the GX ones now. They alone will just pretty much complete you Speed Duel. 3 copies of a Law. So along with Dekoichi, we have 6 draw cards in the deck in a 20 card deck, which is pretty sick. Probably the most commonly played card in the format now, Cosmic Cyclone. I imagine it's this and Book of Moon. Book of Moon was definitely the most played card last format because Jinzo was probably one of the big boss monsters. 3 Cosmic Cyclone. Gets rid of your opponent's Parasite, so they can't use the skill. Gets rid of your opponent's Zone of the Spirit. Obviously, it's still a trap on the field, so it can stop you taking the burn damage. And then lastly, to take the count to 20, we do play 3 copies of Zone of the Spirit. 2 copies of Zone of the Spirit. You can only special summon this card in defense mode. So obviously you do this, and you activate it in the end phase, summon it in defense, and then in your turn it to attack. When it's destroyed by a battle, it inflicts damage to your opponents equal to the attack of the monster that destroys it. So summon this in your opponent's end phase, attack into them off, they take 3/5. It steals games. It's pretty ridiculous. We have a side deck. We have an extra deck rather. It's quite simple, really. Just 3 copies of Destiny End Dragon. You only got to summon the 1 because we only play the 1 copy of. We only have 1 poly in the deck and in the skill. 3 more cards we play because obviously we've maxed out 6. Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, Arcana Knight Joker, and Meteor B Dragon. I'll be honest, the Arcana Knight is just a placeholder. Go onto the side deck, and obviously you can probably guess why we still play these 2 then with the side deck. Going on to the side deck, obviously 6 cards. Now, this is a card I feel like is going to get played in most side decks, at 1 if not more. DD Warrior Lady. So, against this deck, especially if your opponent attacks into the DD Warrior Lady while it's set with their Destiny Hero Dragoon, then this banishes it, and that gets rid of the problem of them bringing it back. Other side cards we play 5 traps. Waken the Dragon. Obviously, everyone's playing Cosmic Cyclone. If they get rid of this, we can just summon out Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. It's a 4/5 beta. Lost Wind. Half the attack of an opponent's special summon monster and can negate the effects. It can reset itself when your opponent special summons. Could probably play this at more than one, but it's just testing out for now. Side the third copy of Zoma for the burn, and then more burn cards. We play Nightmare Wheel because if our opponent does summon their Destiny Hero Dragoon, then we can Nightmare Wheel it. If we can keep that on board and just burn and stop them from attacking us, then that's great. That's the deck profile, guys. Obviously, we're new into this format. This deck might get updated in the future. Thanks for watching.